The possible rumor of a Smackdown superstar heading over to Monday Night Raw. Aleister Black has been in the news all week. He has a tremendous physique, but can he make the red brand better? And we also got a huge update on the Velveteen Dream in today's top story of the day. What's going on, everyone? Jose G here. Joined with me today is Rico El Glorioso, filling in for Kevin Kellam. What's going on, broski? How are you today?
I'm doing well, Jose, and yourself. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. It's Friday afternoon. That means the weekend is upon us. And with the weekend coming upon us, we also have some news breaking throughout the day, particularly with the possible rumor of Aleister Black heading over to Raw, and then the update on Velveteen Dream. But before we get started, folks, make sure you are hitting that like button. And more importantly than that, make sure you are subscribing to our YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to today's show. Make sure you're sharing right now this live stream in your favorite wrestling group. Tag your friends in the comment section so they can join us in the conversation. Today on Friday, we're calling Fridays Free Friday because we have a free giveaway. Retromania will be giving away free downloads to their Retromania game, and there's a certain way how you do it. 5 giveaways. The deadline is this weekend, right before Backlash. Number 1, you have to retweet the SK Wrestling post. Number 2, you got to follow at RetroSoft Studio. And number 3, you got to predict the winners of all 6 matches for WrestleMania Backlash. You guys will get a digital download for Retromania Wrestling for all consoles, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch. Make sure you are heading over to Twitter. Give us a follow. Retweet Retromania. Retweet this tweet for your chance to win some free downloads. But Rico, so these stories that broke today, particularly with Aleister Black possibly being moved, this came as a surprise because, SmackDown's been showing tons of vignettes. Unfortunately, last week we didn't see a vignette because of time constraints, but we have been seeing solid vignettes from Aleister Black over the last few weeks. But WrestleVotes puts out a tweet today. What does WrestleVotes have to say about Aleister Black moving to Raw?
Yeah, so there have been recent talks within WWE that the Red Brand needs some fresh faces, according to at WrestleVotes, like you just mentioned. They're said to be a feeling that Randy Orton and the Raw Tag Team Champion AJ Styles having tag team roles has left the top of the card a bit weak. So imagine having that influx of a talent such as Aleister Black, and we've known how talented he was, especially when they brought him up and Ricochet as a tag team, and then of course they eventually split, and then he had his whole, who wants to pick a fight with me, his little series of vignettes back then. But he is immensely talented. We haven't seen him on TV in a very long time. I believe since October was like the last time that we even seen him on TV. So he would be a great name to put at the top of the card, where we've really just been seeing the same 3 people of Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre. So injecting some new talent into the Raw brand, such as Aleister Black, could be a good move by Raw.
I completely agree. We did see the nice rivalry between him and Seth Rollins back on Raw during, the early pandemic era back at the Performance Center. And he was putting on solid storylines. Then he went away and came back with the eye patch and had this whole different persona. And I think that's where it kind of really went downhill. But if you move Aleister Black over to Raw, I think that really gives him the opportunity, especially if you're going to put him in the top spot. You can't put him in the United States spot. You can't put him in the mid card or even at the top. You have to put him in the main title picture. And I think that's going to make a whole world of difference. And now that he's 20 pounds lighter and looking absolutely shredded, I think this is the perfect time for them to get Raw. And especially with how horrible things have been on Raw with the writing and the storylines, I think Raw can definitely benefit of using Aleister Black. Guys, chime in the comments. Let us know what you think about Aleister Black possibly moving from SmackDown over to Monday Night Raw. Where do you want to see him on the Red Brand? Do you want to see him in the main title picture or in the United States title picture? I'm going to debate that he should be in the main title picture. as I think you do too, right, Rico?
Oh, of course. Like we already see, what's going on in the U.S. title picture, but well, yeah, he's that kind of talent that could thrive up there at the top. But now the question is also kind of leading to a story that you broke also recently, earlier this week. Could we possibly see something with his real life wifey, Zelina Vega? We know that she's been around back in WWE. Looks like she's back on good terms with them, back in their good graces. So could we possibly see, kind of like we alluded to earlier this week, maybe a reunion of sorts on screen between real life husband and wife, Zelina Vega and Aleister Black?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. Maybe she's the Dark Father, so that'll be cool. Jessica Hoffman is saying, who would you want to see Aleister feuding with on Raw if he does make that move? Would you like to see him against the Fiend?
Oh, that'd be a great matchup to have too. Especially, there are some rumors that he has taken some time. He's still dealing with some personal issues, especially having dealt with the loss not only of a family member close, but of also his real life friend Brody Lee. He was still dealing with that. But once he comes back in full form, I would love to see a feud between the Fiend and Aleister Black. Maybe even a union of sorts. We could even possibly have a dark union, between these two guys. Maybe the Dark Father is the Fiend. Who knows? This opens up a lot of opportunities for Monday Night Raw to at least get creative, which is what we need to see to give some new life into the Red brand.
Well, speaking of new life, looks like a particular NXT superstar is starting to show a little bit of life, especially in the internet wrestling community. And that particular NXT superstar is none other than the Velveteen Dream. Yeah, man. Wow. It's like we haven't seen the Velveteen Dream in a good solid 8 months at least. It's been a while. We haven't. I mean, the last time we saw the Velveteen Dream, he was going up against Adam Cole. He lost against Adam Cole, and we have not seen him since before Christmas. You're absolutely right. In the most recent report, we did. This was actually by the Wrestling News Observer. That the Dream was seen back in the WWE Performance Center this week. And it was also noted that Dream was backstage on Raw on Monday night, but they didn't use him. So looks like he's back at training. He's been at home. They really haven't had anything for the Velveteen Dream. But I don't know what the situation is with the Velveteen Dream. But we've been following him now for several years, and I think it's time. It's time, bro. Smackdown or Raw, one of the two. I think it's time. He has the charisma, but I don't know what's going on with the Velveteen Dream per se backstage. That he has not been able to make that move yet. What are your thoughts on Velveteen Dream resurging in the internet now?
I think it's like you said, it's about time. Like, yes, there was, some rumors and stuff like that going around, especially in light of a lot of situations being brought to light. A couple of years ago, Velveteen's name was in, that bit of those rumors and people that were, brought to light in such of those things. So hopefully, he's taken some time, been able to work things out. It looks like he is working out with WWE and be able to come to terms with possibly bringing back on TV, because on screen, on TV, he is an amazing character. He's immensely talented, very charismatic. And even back then, even back when he was North American champion, we were talking about how great could they make this character on TV. So I think it's about time. Just like you said, NXT, there isn't really much else for him to do there. And there's plenty of people at the top right now, especially with Karrion Kross, carrying the title. You have Finn Balor, you have Pete Dunne, you have Kyle O'Reilly. You have so many talented people. You don't need to put in the Velveteen Dream there. You can put him somewhere that could use an influx of new talent, of fresh creative, which is Monday Night Raw. So I would not be against bringing Velveteen Dream to Monday Night Raw.
I'm all about putting all the young guys on Monday Night Raw. So there's even discussion of even putting Damian Priest in the title picture too. And if you add Velveteen Dream in there too, just all those young guys in those top positions. Man, I think Raw can see a big resurgence with just those three talents right there. Black, Priest, and Velveteen Dream.
Yeah. Imagine having, Damian Priest take the title off of Sheamus, and who's his first challenger for the U.S. Championship? Ow! Velveteen Dream. Like, just bringing that feud from NXT back over here to Monday Night Raw would be amazing. And it's something fresh, something new. You know, give people new storylines, new feuds to look into. And I think this would be a great one to start with.
I completely agree. Let's get into our comment section and see what people are saying. John Lavender from Facebook is saying that Aleister Black will be WWE champion soon. Please. I hope to God that will happen soon, because I would love to see that belt around him. James Espanto Fernando, WWE should put out a statement on Dream to clear his name about his past drama. Yes.
Kill it, put an end to it. Let's move forward.
Absolutely. Let's see what else we got here. And another comment. I would add Dream and Lee to the Hurt Business.
Oh, come on now. That's not fair. Then nobody's going to win anything.
Nobody's going to win.
But imagine that. It's kind of the storyline that we were talking about, where having Bobby Lashley, you know, having to recruit, especially with Jinder Mahal, now that he's back in amazing shape, and now he is with Indushir. Like, he needs some heavies. Like, we love Shelton Benjamin and we love Cedric Alexander. They're kind of smaller guys. But imagine having Keith Lee and Dream by your side. Oh, that's not even fair.
It really isn't. Steve Chambers off on Facebook saying Raw needs wrestlers. Depends on how they're handled. Dream be a good fit. I completely agree with that. Well, so far, guys, those are the stories that we have today for the top story. Remember to follow us on all of our social media. Make sure you are hitting that like button, sharing this video if you're watching on demand. Share it in your favorite wrestling group. Tag your friends in the comment section. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, here on Facebook. Also, for the free giveaway, make sure you follow us on Twitter. You retweet Retro Soft Studio. All right. You retweet that particular tweet that you are seeing on screen right now for your chance to win Retromania Wrestling digital download code for any of the consoles, Switch, Xbox, PlayStation. You want it, you got it. All you have to do is retweet at SK Wrestling, follow at Retro Soft Studios, and predict the winners of all 6 matches for WrestleMania Backlash for your chance to win a digital download for Retromania Wrestling on our Sportskeeda Wrestling Twitter. So make sure you go ahead and follow us over there. So that is it for us today. Guys, have a fantastic weekend. Tons of new content dropping. We just dropped a top 5 mistakes WWE should not do ahead of WrestleMania Backlash. You'll get to see me with hair. We also have a fantastic episode of the Inside Cradle where Kevin Kellam and Rick Ucchino dive into a long conversation with Jim Ross and Bailey. So make sure you check that out. And we got tons of stuff coming over the weekends with Vince Russo. Monday nights, we got Legion of Raw. Friday nights, we got Smack Talk with Dirty Dutch Mantel. And on Wednesday nights, you got us truly, Rico and myself, breaking down the debrief on AEW Dynamite and NXT. So, for Rico El Glorioso, I'm Jose G, and we'll see you next week. And remember, when you're watching wrestling, what's the most important thing they can do, Rico?
Enjoy it. Enjoy wrestling.